The ability to act in a truly free manner. Like, for instance, one of the things, if an industry is more than 30 to 50 years old, you can't be free in that industry to like create new ideas or like really, step out of the mold much. One of the prime things, and I know this is a couple of the guys I've talked to and know have changed professions, but they went and became architects. So they're building buildings. But a lot of the new technologies, a lot of the new things that are being discovered about steel and building materials and all this kind of thing, they can't use because it's not been certified, it's not been regulated, blah, blah, blah. They can't even experiment with it to a certain degree without just massive bureaucracy. And then on the flip side, I'm in software because people don't tell me what the fuck to do. If they did, I'd get out of the industry. I'd be like, yeah, fuck you guys, you can screw it up. Guys, I swear.
I just want to make sure we get. Yeah, we're fine.
You take a lot of the free market advocates too that are after true classical liberalism and all that kind of stuff, and you point them at the Bushisms and you say, all right, critique, and they're like, well, A, they don't have nothing to do with free market capitalism or open markets or fair market, anything market. They just want to dictate it and control it at a high level of bureaucracy. That's plain and simple, and that's what they, in effect, attempt to do. I'm watching very closely because I swear if they change this, we're going to be deep shit with rail infrastructure around the country. But like freight rail, it was almost dead in the early 70s. I mean, they could barely survive. Their infrastructure was falling apart. Yeah, and then they did the Staggers Act or whatever it was and got rid of a lot of the bureaucratic bullshit that they had to go through. So all of a sudden, the market opened up for them. And, it took 20, 30 years. And just now, freight railroads are starting to expand capacity in the sense of they're dropping new tracks in a large way. Just in the last couple of years, they've dropped thousands of new miles of track, often paralleling what they already have, but new track to handle capacity and stuff. But they couldn't do that in the 60s and 70s. And one thing, of course, too, was the competition with truckers and stuff. I get a sports car, which of course takes primo shit, and oftentimes when I buy gas, I go ahead and mix in a little super high grade, so basically airplane fuel. And aircraft fuel, it's been fucking $6 a gallon since 10 years ago. So I didn't even get to experience the $2 gas. I was like, oh, that must be nice. Back up here, about 3 years ago, I lived in Jacksonville, Florida, which is the total opposite of Portland in every way.
We're now
Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, okay.
I've been there. Yeah, totally decentralized. You got the beach 15 miles that way. You got blah, blah, blah 15 that way. It's the biggest city in America, technically, by landmass.
Oh, really?
Because
Jacksonville, Florida?
Yeah, they've annexed the entire county. So the whole county is considered a city. Even the city's like this little shit dump right in the middle of nowhere. But, like that city, all they do, they have like the worst building paradigm too. And this actually happened while I was there. This is something that just blew me away. I'm like, oh my god, you guys fucking kidding me. So this guy goes and builds this subdivision, 200 and something houses, blah blah blah. Found cheap land, middle of the swamp, just like everything else in Florida. Builds a subdivision, 240 something houses. The planning group, which is like 4 people in Jacksonville, says you can't do that. There's no water out there, and no one's building pipe out to you. It's too far out, which is about 20 miles out of the city. And he goes, well, these people have it, you have to build it. It's your responsibility. And the city said, no, fuck you. We're not building it. We can't afford it. So anyway, what's he do? He builds it anyway. And then starts suing them. So they start suing him. And he manages to sell and fuck these people out of homes, basically. He sold 6 houses. And those people can't get out of their loans now because they bought the houses that don't have water. They don't have running water. But anyway, that's Jacksonville for you. Like these huge things are built.
South.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's south.
Some cities are a little bit more put together in that sense. Like New Orleans is a joke, but even New Orleans is better put together in that sense because it's like they just say, okay, well if you're gonna do that, here's your prices. Here's how you're gonna have to run the water, or whatever. Hey, the dude built that, and then on top of that, he didn't have a road to any main thoroughfare anywhere to the subdivision. So he expects the city to do it. The city goes, well, we're bankrupt because all we've done is build a bunch of roads out in these random places in the middle of nowhere. We have no money. Such a clusterfuck. But when I was there, that dude building that and then not having, like, can you even imagine a modern residential area without running water or a street to it. It's insane. But Jacksonville has quite a number of fuck-ups like that, all over the place. And they just start sitting for a couple of years. And, you know, but then I come up here and the urban growth boundary, pro or anti, whatever the situation is, it's kind of weird because, you know, people are like, oh, we want more development like this. But at the same time, it's like, well, what about the land you haven't used around where it's easy to get to? You know? So I look at these two situations. I'm like, we should like swap some people just to figure out how to do.
Yeah, right.
Last time I went to San Francisco, it was a blast. Me and my girlfriend ran down there, and
Great to
yeah, it is. And you know, we rode around on the streetcar things and the light rail things and all over the place.
Yeah, they really do.
Oh yeah, they do it like it should be done if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But the one thing
But the
that
muni
got
bus
me,
drivers are among the worst in the country.
oh there?
If you had to drive, I love riding muni buses because that reminds me how good I had it before. I mean, those bus drivers, not only do they have like these unbelievable people, but they got the streets that are just.
Oh yeah. Well, that's one of the things I posed the question. I'm like, okay, so when you ride the Max or the streetcar, it's relatively smooth in comparison to a lot of buses. But is it really the bus? It's not really the bus, it's the road.
Yeah, right.
You know, if the road's smooth, your ride's going to be smooth. The thing is, you know, here I'm, you know, like I ride at 35 down McAdam.
That's a
To
smooth
where I work.
right? Yeah.
Well, it's smooth until you get into town, right off of NATO, and you're trying to turn into downtown.
Oh.
Holy shit, I can't have my laptop open. I have to shut it. Or it's